Hello, it's Dr. Kim Clover, and I am back here on YouTube to talk today about the ABCs of stress and anxiety management. So, stress is a part of everyday life, and what I have come to realize is that there is a certain amount of stress that is healthy. Too much stress is not good. Not enough stress is not good. So there's the top of the U, which is where we're trying to hit, is eustress. And eustress is the amount of stress and anxiety in our life that motivates us to improve or keep setting goals and reaching them. So it's important that we have a little bit of stress in our life to help us. If you don't have any stress, you'll probably be lazy or lack motivation. If you have too much stress, you get frozen in the inability to complete the things that you have to get done. So where are our sources of stress? Well, there's four main sources that I want to talk about today. There is environmental stress, which is your home, your work, traffic, noise, distractions. A lot of times that is where we spend a lot of our time. There are social stresses. Those are relationships and medical issues and money issues and difficulties. There are physiological stresses, and these can be issues that are a part of our physical makeup, sleep disorders. Sometimes there's hormone disorders. There can be medical issues on this as well. A lack of sleep, a lack of exercise, poor nutrition, all of those are the physiological problems that cause stress. And then there are our thoughts. And this is what I want to speak to you a lot about today is I'm going to focus on our thoughts and how they end up helping us or hurting us when it comes to stress and anxiety. So the ABCs of stress management boil down to alter it, avoid it, or accept it. And in accepting our stress or anxiety, we have to learn to build our resistance to it or change our perception of it. So I'm going to focus on this. Avoiding a situation is if it's not good for you and you can avoid going into that situation by saying no and setting a boundary, do so. Relationships oftentimes are toxic or not helpful. If it's not good for you and you don't have to go visit that relative every week, or you don't have to be friends with that person, don't do it. And so if you can alter the situation by setting a boundary and saying no, great. Check out my YouTube video on boundaries. It may help you in learning how to set boundaries that are not helping you in your life. So if you can't if you can't avoid it, can you alter it? Delegate responsibilities to other people. Use clear communication skills and reorganize your time so that you get time to exercise or reevaluate your diet so that you're eating better. All of these things are good for you if you can alter the situation that is causing you stress. If you don't like your job, if there's another job within the company, look for that job. Prepare yourself to alter the situation that is causing you the stress. If you can't do that, then we have to accept the stress in our life. And in order to do that, we have to build our resistance, which is taking care of yourself. Eat properly. Get regular exercise. Try to get to sleep on time. I'm really working on people setting an alarm, not only to get up in the morning, but also to go to sleep at night. Oftentimes, we do not take care of ourselves well, which adds to our inability to resist the amount of stress or how it affects us. Try to find ways to relax. Relaxation techniques are helpful, but also pleasures in our life. I have often said the happiest people are those that have at least half as many pleasures as we have obligations. And oftentimes we have so many obligations that we just don't enjoy life. Try to add some pleasures to your life, and that will build your resistance to stress. So not only building your resistance, but also changing your perception. One of the things that I really work with people on is your thought patterns. Your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your behaviors. If your thoughts are negative, Your feelings then will follow suit, and so will your behaviors. But if your thoughts are positive, so will be your feelings and your behaviors. So it is very imperative that we are aware of what we think. Our thoughts are either our allies or our enemies. So I want to help you today think about your thought processes and how you can have them work for you and not against you. First off, take off any perfectionistic thinking. Should, need, must, got, have, and ought are perfectionistic words. Should, need, got, must, have, and ought. So take those out of your vocabulary instead of saying, I've got to get to the store tonight. It sounds like if you don't, the world's going to end. So say something like, it would be good if, I would prefer to, it would be nice if. So take some of that pressure off of you by changing just the wording of your thought. Learn how to respond and not react. I also have another tutorial on this. Responding is logical, reacting is emotional. And when we're in react mode, it usually doesn't go well. And our thoughts are very pressurizing, and we start to feel very upset instead of thinking about the facts at hand. We are feeling. There are many people right now that are coming out of this pandemic as we're starting to open up slowly, and they're already anticipating the next wave. I believe that is starting to cause more stress and anxiety for many people. I do not say put your head in the sand by any means, but respond by staying in the logic, staying in the present, and doing what is. So reactions are usually not helpful. Responses are more helpful. So the other thing that I would encourage strongly is learn how to control your thoughts by thought stopping. Most of our anxiety, most of our stress starts with a negative thought. And many people will tell me, I didn't think anything. I tend to disagree with that because our thoughts start the process. So be aware of what you're thinking. Recognize the negativity in your mind and stop it. A very simple technique, thought stopping. Snap your fingers, pop a rubber band, see a mental stop sign, and say to yourself, stop now. Reevaluate that thought and replace it with two positives. The more positives you put into the conscious mind, the more positives will reach the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is what controls our behavior. So when you're having stress and you don't think you're thinking about anything, it is because your subconscious mind is full of this negativity. So negative thoughts are one of the places that you really want to focus on getting rid of those. Get rid of those. Start with the thought stopping. Stop that negative thought, like, I don't think there's any way I'm going to get this done today. Well, that starts to make us feel overwhelmed. And then that makes us start feeling overwhelmed, and our palms start to sweat, and our heart starts to race, and we start to feel all out anxiety. If you back up and stop and say, wait a minute, right here, right now, I know I can handle that situation. I can do what I have to do. I'm going to start by staying in the present and do the next right thing and get it done. And as you start to work, you may have more negative thoughts, but you're going to stop them and replace them. The more you practice stopping the negative thinking, the more likely you are to start being a positive thinker. So I hope that you will start thinking about this. Avoid stress at all costs. If you don't have to go into a situation, set a boundary and say no. Or alter the situation, if at all possible, by making yourself feel better, changing a job, getting into a different relationship, delegating some responsibilities, or accepting your challenges in life, your stress and the anxiety that comes along with it, by building your building your resistance, eating right, exercising, sleeping better, taking care of yourself, and learning how to build some pleasures and relaxation into your life. And then change your perception, change your thoughts. Don't be perfectionistic, be realistic. and think positively, not negatively, and respond and don't react. All of these things together put into a thumbnail sketch will help you handle the stresses that come into your life much more effectively. I hope this helps. It's just a starting point, but give it a try, and I hope you find that your stress level decreases over the days and weeks to come. Good luck. God bless. See you next time.